All right, let's talk about Fred Warner. Fred Warner, who, when I did my top 100 players list, I put him as the number two player in all of football. One, of course, being Mahomes, kind of have to put him there. But I thought that Warner earned the number two spot. He's been a consistently great player, and I feel like in some ways him being just good for so long has almost hurt him because you don't really talk about him anymore. It's just like, oh yeah, Fred Warner is great, and oh, here's this other young guy who's playing well, let's talk about him instead for the 49ers. But like, no, Fred Warner is an incredible player, and I think we should really be talking about him as one of the best players in football. So that's what I'm going to do in this video, is just really talk about the many things he does so well. But also, real quick, before I get into it, if you like movies, I have a movie channel. Talk about some fun stuff on there. I have fun, so yeah. If you're interested in that at all, the link is in the description, so you can check that out. But yeah, let's get into the film. Starting off with a play like this, what's going to happen is that you see the blocking concept on the screen. It's supposed to go towards the top of the screen. That's the way this is designed to work. That is where Fred Warner is on this play. So, okay, that is the setup. Well, let's see what happens. I mean, first, the main thing to watch is that you can tell that the way he's supposed to be blocked by Green Bay is there's a double team block, and then someone's supposed to get off that double team block and go up to block Warner. However, when this play begins, it kind of gets held up nicely for San Francisco, so Warner now has a straight shot to get to the running back. So, okay, cool, good job, and again, to be in a good defense, typically you need good teammates, right? Not one player can't do it alone, all of that stuff. But for Warner, now he has an opportunity, but that's all he has right here is an opportunity. He still has to find a way to take advantage of this opportunity by being able to make a tackle and watch him get over and be able to make that tackle. I mean, really good job in open space to pull that off and get it there quickly so they get the tackle for a loss. Good job by San Francisco as a whole, and certainly being in a good defense helps. But it's also worth mentioning, he just understands this defense incredibly well. Like, a play like this is really what makes the San Francisco 49ers defense good, and what makes it work is everyone just does what Warner is going to do on this play, although I don't think anyone does it quite as well as Warner does, and that's just maybe in football, let alone on the Niners defense. You see where Warner is supposed to cover. He's covering that middle of the field area, the zone and white. Okay, simple enough. Yeah, he's the middle linebacker. That makes sense. That is the route that Green Bay is going to look towards, this more over the middle route. Okay, again, understood this type of route can work against zones. Sure, let's see what happens. So Jordan Love is going to take the snap, and you see Warner at this point is doing a great job at taking away this route, right? If Love wanted to throw the ball here, it would be a bad idea. Warner's in the way. Love instead throws to someone else, but I want to stop right here and really talk about what's going on with Warner. I know it's a little blurry, but, best still frame I can. You see where Warner is. That's where Warner's covering, but might be saying, wait a second, didn't he let the Green Bay player go by him? And he did. That Green Bay player is definitely by him at this point. So, okay, this isn't great. He let him pass. Well, no, that's not the issue whatsoever. There's help over there. Fred Warner understands where his help is at all times, and that to me is such a valuable trait in a linebacker. It's not just knowing when you have to cover a guy, which he did early on in that play. He knew how to adjust so he can cover the guy he's supposed to cover, but also know when to stop covering someone in case someone else gets into your zone. So for the checkdowns in that area, I don't think either of those would have gone for a first down because Warner was prepared. I also feel like Warner does a great job of helping out his teammates in these situations. He'll often kind of be communicating, telling them where to go, all that good stuff. And other stuff like this, where again Warner's going to be covering over the middle of the field, but the beginning part of this play is less important for me. Watch how when it begins, you see Mayfield's going to kind of start to scramble up towards the top of the screen, but he doesn't love what he sees. You see Fred Warner kind of moved up to pay attention to a potential Baker Mayfield run, because Mayfield is someone who likes to scramble here and there, and in fact, that's what Mayfield is going to do right now. But what Fred Warner is doing a great job of is he notices all of this. When Mayfield puts his head down to scramble, Warner is tracking him beautifully and even knocks the football out because Mayfield just didn't realize that Warner was there. This is really smart football by Warner to read these plays and not just make something good happen, but make something great happen, which is definitely something he has a tendency of doing. Heading over here, his tracking speed is certainly impressive, where you have this play, it's going to be just a little play action, flip it to the tight end. And that is where Warner is. So, okay, Warner is currently, on the hash marks towards the top of the screen. The play is going towards the bottom of the screen. Who knows if he'll be able to get involved too much on this one. Well, when the play begins, you're going to see that Kyler runs the play action, flips it over, and you see for Warner right here, okay, he's in position. Good job. Already got, a decent of the part of the ways over. But still, you're going to have to try and win this race right here. And, first and 10, you don't want to give up too many yards. Well, watch him get over, give up 0 yards, and force a fumble on top of it. They weren't quite able to recover the forced fumble, but they still, again, you get a nice bounce. Maybe you do get the fumble recovery. And either way, we're able to get the nice stop. So, really good stuff here from Fred Warner. And even this play was an important play for the 49ers, where, you see where Fred Warner is. I've circled him in yellow, but let me direct your attention towards the bottom part of the screen. This is a 10-point game, and the Lions currently have 3 timeouts. There's a minute left in the game. So while you're feeling pretty good if you're San Francisco, this game is not over. If the Lions score a touchdown right here, now they're down just 3 points, and they don't even have to kick an onside kick. They could kick the ball deep. If they can get a 3 and out, they might have 30 seconds left, no timeouts, okay-ish field position to try and get, a game-tying field goal. Not saying it's a great situation, but with this high-powered Lions offense, not a situation you want to have to deal with if you're the 49ers. But watch Fred Warner, move over. The contact does not get him too much, and he was a big part of making that play work, making the key stop, which set up a 4th down. The Lions called a timeout, and essentially, were at that point needed an onside kick to win. Had Warner not made that play, who knows? Maybe the game does go differently. So yeah, those are most of my thoughts on Fred Warner. Again, if you want to talk like negatives, I really don't have any. I really don't. I don't have anything where I'm like, oh, that wasn't good. Like, I have nothing. There's no negatives. I guess Kelsey got him a couple of times in the Super Bowl. Okay, getting burned by the best receiving tight end in football. Not even burned, like losing some matchups against the best receiving tight end in football in a Super Bowl. Not the end of the world. He also got Kelsey a few times as well. So certainly was not like a one-sided affair, I didn't think. So as a whole, again, this is just a guy who consistently puts in great plays and will also consistently put in this amazing splash plays. So yeah, for me, he is the second best player in football. Those are my thoughts on Fred Warner. But yeah, that's just what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. What are your thoughts on Fred Warner? Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.